Hello, and welcome back to another ESO and You video. I'm going to talk a little bit about healing and just the basics of it. I'm not going to be going over what skills that you need to have or don't have, just where to stand, how to predict things, and what you need to focus on as far as being a healer goes. So, one of the biggest things that I see healers do that are new or inexperienced is they're dancing around in the background and they're moving all around. And sure, sometimes there's gonna be that bit that you have to do, but a lot of the times this is your setup that you want. You want to be in the back, and then your party, which is represented by this skeleton here, is right here, and then the enemy or boss that they're attacking is right here. And when you're in this line, what you get to do is you get to see the entire battle. So you're going to be learning the mechanics probably a lot faster than your friends are, because you're seeing everything happen as it happens. You're not having to worry about moving too much out of AoE, because a lot of that stuff is going to happen right here in this zone where the rest of your party's going to be at. But you're going to be backed up a little bit. You're going to be able to heal them just fine, and you need to do one more thing with your AoE heals, like Breath of Life, not Breath of Life, Healing Springs. You need to cast it so that way you're slightly in the ring. As long as they're in the ring and you're in the ring, you guys are all getting healed just the same. So if you're casting it and you're not in the ring and that big old hit comes along, hey man, you're really squishy and they're gonna knock you down pretty quick. So if you're casting, so everybody's in your ring of healing, then everybody's going to be just fine. The only exception where you don't want this lineup is there's certain fights where you're going to have the tank on one side. Bloodroot Forge is a prime example of this. So Bloodroot Forge, the boss is going to be on one side, and this is if you're running it on hard mode on vet. Boss is going to be here. Your tank's going to be here, and then your party is going to be over here. And then what you're doing is you're staying here with the tank, but you're casting all of your healing spells to get everybody inside of those heals. But also combat prayer is that straight line path. And then if you are a warden healer, bam, you have your conal heal there too. So during Bloodroot Forge, it's a fight where you have to walk around a circle on hard mode, and it avoids these lava fountains that come out. You do that, and you'll complete it extremely easily. But if you're attacking the boss just like normal, it's not going to work. So there's a few times where you and the tank are going to be on one side, and the DPS are going to be on the other. But always, you're in a line. And if people are outside of the circle, and they're outside of the line, and they're running around all over the place, that's not on you if they're dying. That's on them. And it's your job to help tell them where they should be standing, and how to be better players. Because as a healer, we're getting to see everything that's going on. And a lot of times, when people do die, it's because they're standing in the bad stuff. The AoEs that the bosses and enemies are throwing out, and they're just not moving out of it. So you can have everything min-maxed on a healer. If those people are still standing in that bad stuff and they can easily avoid it, then they're gonna die, or they're gonna kill their friends and stuff like that. So instead of worrying about, oh, you're a bad healer because all your friends died in the match, just know that as long as you're in a line, you're probably healing right. And there's certain exceptions here and there in different fights, but a lot of it is simply just being in a line, or your friends being soft stacked in front of you, and then the tank right up on the boss. If you're healing on AA, and if you're a warden healer, then you just need to stand slightly next to the tank if you're up on the rock and there's axes that he's holding. And you have these orbs. You just throw these orbs out that are right next to him. As long as you're out of the attack range of the axes, you can be anywhere around them or between them. But yeah, a lot of people, they stress out too much that they're not standing in the right spot, or that they're not doing their heals in proper rotation. There is no real proper rotation with healing. A lot of it is organic, and you do it as you need it. So, there's some fights where, you'll just be on a solo bar. If you have a bar set up that's similar to this, there's some fights where this is all you need, and you'll be just fine. Other longer fights, and you need resource management, you need a shield for yourself, you need resource management for your teammates, or a big massive shield for everybody, or damage mitigation for everybody. So there's just differences that you need, but for the most part, as long as everybody is put where they're supposed to be and stacked up where they need to be, and everything will be just fine. I love healing. It's my favorite part in the game. I get to see the entire battles. I get to learn everything. I'm able to call things out and help new players, and help players who just aren't seating themselves properly in the battles. It's fantastic. I love it. I hope that this has helped out a bit. I know it seems kind of vague, and a lot of people are looking for really meaty stuff. But these ESO and You videos are simply about pointing out what a lot of people do that are just bad habits, or they haven't seen done properly. A lot of it is just trial and error, and doing what works and what works well, and everything else just kind of throwing it out the window. So on healing, the biggest thing that you need to know is just stay in line with your party. If they're moving around a lot and they're out of your heals, just call it out. It's okay. You're not being a jerk. You're just telling them that they need to go a certain place, and that's cool. So thanks guys for watching. I hope this was informational.